Today we're diving into what makes a garden thrive: ingenuity. Gardening is an art, a science, and a lifestyle. Whether you're a beginner or experienced, there's always room to learn. I've compiled 40 incredible gardening hacks, so let's put on our gloves and unearth the magic of these hacks. Let's be honest, sometimes our gardening tools have a mind of their own, ending up scattered around the shed or garage. But worry not, our hacks will help you reclaim your space. Repurpose empty plastic containers and plates. They're great for small tools like pruners and plant markers. And don't throw away those empty egg cartons. They're perfect for sorting and storing seeds. Now, let's move on to some ingenious ways to repurpose everyday household items. Remember those empty canned food containers? They make fantastic impromptu water cups for your gardening endeavors. And while we're on the topic of repurposing, don't underestimate the power of a simple rubber band. Wrap those pesky ropes or irrigation strings with a rubber band to keep them from tangling and turning into a gardener's worst nightmare. Speaking of metal containers, those empty metal cans have hidden talents too. With a little creativity, you can transform them into handy mini gardening tools. Cut them into small scoops or use them as makeshift tweezers for delicate seedlings. And if you're looking for a more robust storage solution, look no further than those sturdy wooden crates. They make excellent tool racks, providing ample space to organize tools by size and function. Now, let's talk about coffee. Not the kind you sip in the morning, but the kind that comes in those large, sturdy cans. Empty coffee cans are a gardener's best friend when it comes to storing seeds. And speaking of cans, those aluminum soda cans have a hidden talent too. Cut them into strips and use them as plant labels. Simply write the plant name on the strip with a permanent marker, and you'll never forget what you've planted where. Let's move on to some ingenious ways to recycle plastic bottles. Instead of tossing them in the recycling bin, transform them into DIY drip irrigation systems. Carefully punch small holes in the bottom of the bottle, bury it next to your thirsty plants, and fill it with water. The water will slowly seep out, providing a consistent and targeted water supply to your plant's roots. A simple and effective way to deter pests is by placing flat dishes under your potted plants. Did you know that your pantry holds some surprising secrets for natural pest control and plant care? Ordinary salt, for instance, can be a gardener's best friend when it comes to tackling weeds. Sprinkle a bit of salt around the base of your plants, being careful not to get it on the leaves or stems. And don't discard those eggshells just yet. Those fragile shells are actually a powerhouse of calcium, a vital nutrient for strong plant growth. Simply crush the eggshells into a fine powder and sprinkle it around the base of your plants. Sometimes weeds can be particularly stubborn, but don't reach for those harsh chemicals just yet. Boiling water is a surprisingly effective and eco-friendly way to eliminate weeds. Carefully pour the boiling water directly onto the weeds. Now let's talk about coffee. Not for us this time, but for our plants. Cold coffee can be a fantastic natural fertilizer. The nitrogen in coffee grounds promotes healthy plant growth. Mix leftover cold coffee with water and use it to water your plants. Green tea isn't just for you. It's great for your plants too. Rich in antioxidants, it boosts plant immunity. Brew a weak batch, cool it, and water weekly. Stale bread can help with pest control. Place slices around your garden to attract pests away from plants. Let's move on to some truly unexpected gardening heroes found right in your kitchen. Milk, believe it or not, can be a powerful fungicide, protecting your plants from fungal diseases. Mix milk with water in a 1-to-1 ratio and spray it on your plants as a preventative measure or to treat existing fungal issues. Adding a small amount of sugar to your soil can encourage the growth of beneficial bacteria, which in turn helps break down organic matter and make nutrients more available to your plants. Keeping your garden organized is just as important as the plants themselves. Those empty razor cartridges, for instance, can be repurposed as handy plant labels. Simply clean them thoroughly, remove the blades, and use a permanent marker to write the plant name on the cartridge. And for a more heavy-duty storage solution, consider using magnetic trays. Let's talk about portability and convenience. Foldable bags are a gardener's best friend when it comes to transporting tools and supplies between different areas of the garden. And here's a fragrant tip: repurpose those empty metal cans as natural insect repellents. Simply fill the cans with fragrant herbs like mint, lavender, or rosemary, or add a few drops of essential oils like citronella or lemon eucalyptus. Protecting your indoor and outdoor surfaces from water damage is essential, especially when it comes to potted plants. Place rubber dishes under your pots to catch any excess water and prevent unsightly rings or stains on your furniture or floors. And speaking of dishes, those shallow plastic dishes you often get with takeout meals make excellent seedling starters. Simply fill them with seed starting mix, sow your seeds according to the package instructions, and water gently. Don't underestimate the versatility of metal dishes in the garden. With a little creativity, you can transform them into handy gardening tools. Cut sturdy metal dishes into small, sharp-edged tools that can be used for delicate pruning tasks, or for removing weeds in tight spaces. Metal dishes can also serve as effective moisture monitors for your potted plants. Let's add a touch of color and organization to our gardens with the help of, you guessed it, dishes. Use brightly colored dishes to mark different zones in your garden. For example, you could use red dishes to indicate areas where you've planted vegetables, blue dishes for flower beds, and green dishes for herb gardens. Colored dishes can also be helpful for marking areas where you've recently sown seeds. Simply place the dishes strategically around the garden, and you'll have a visual reminder of where to tread carefully. Before you add any amendments or fertilizers to your garden, it's always a good idea to test your soil pH. And guess what? You can use those disposable plastic dishes to collect soil samples. Simply scoop a small amount of soil from different areas of your garden into separate dishes, label them clearly, and take them to your local nursery or garden center for testing. Now, let's talk about adding a touch of whimsy and personality to our gardens. Those old, chipped, or cracked pots that you might be tempted to discard can actually be transformed into charming decorative features. Let's add a touch of magic and ambiance to our gardens with the warm glow of DIY garden lights. Carefully cut intricate patterns or designs into the bottom of metal dishes, creating stunning lanterns that will cast beautiful shadows when illuminated. You can use tea lights, votive candles, or even LED candles for a safe and long-lasting glow. Hang these enchanting lanterns from tree branches, shepherd's hooks, or pergolas to create a magical and inviting atmosphere in your garden. Let's step outside the traditional and explore the artistic side of gardening. Those colorful and durable plastic dishes can be transformed into eye-catching wall decor for your garden shed, fences, or even an outdoor patio wall. Arrange the dishes in creative patterns, paint them with vibrant colors, or even add embellishments like beads, buttons, or mosaic tiles. And if you're looking for a lightweight and portable seating option for your garden, look no further than those sturdy rubber dishes. Simply flip them over and they instantly become comfortable and easy to clean garden stools. Let's unleash our inner artists and transform those metal dishes into unique and eye-catching garden art. Cut the dishes into different shapes and sizes, and then assemble them into whimsical sculptures, mobiles, or wind chimes. And here's a fun idea for adding an interactive element to your garden. Attach rubber dishes to trees or poles using sturdy string or wire. The dishes will sway gently in the breeze, creating a playful and whimsical effect. Let's tap into our playful side and create some whimsical and imaginative garden features using plastic dishes. With a little creativity, you can transform those dishes into miniature bikes, cars, or even airplanes. Simply cut the dishes into the desired shapes, assemble them using glue or tape, and paint them in bright colors. These miniature creations will add a touch of whimsy and childlike wonder to your garden. Our final hack takes those versatile metal dishes and transforms them into entertaining elements for your garden. Cut the dishes into shapes like antennas, flags, or even simple game boards. Attach them to poles or stakes, and you have instant garden games or whimsical decorations. You can even create a mini golf course using metal dishes as the holes. There you have it, 40 incredibly clever and practical gardening hacks that will undoubtedly elevate your gardening game. Remember, The most successful gardens are often born from a resourceful and observant mind. Embrace the beauty of imperfection, find joy in the process, and remember that even the simplest hacks can make a world of difference in your garden. Until next time, happy gardening.